So a couple of steps to go through here in real time. On your Windows machine, you're going to go invariably to your documents, go to QSC, go to Q-SYS Designer, and then go to the folder called Styles. And mine happens to be empty. And what we're going to do is literally this. Take those two style sheets and you can copy and paste, you can drag and drop. Then you're going to want to come to Tools and Show Design Resources. Right here, Tools, Show Design Resources. It will show you, oh, these are the resources that you have available. Now, I happen to have a couple of other things available to me. Don't worry about that. You won't have those. But I also have these two style sheets that we just installed. So what did we do a minute ago? We installed them into Q-SYS. That made them available to our design. We're going to install them into our design. Once we install them into our design, then on the Install tab, hey, there they are. If I click on the local source, it takes me to the actual style sheet. But if I click over here on the actual, you can see, oh yeah, this is indeed the style sheet that we were just looking at. So you got it downloaded, you got it installed into Q-SYS, you got it now installed into Designer. We can make use of it here in our project. And I'm going to select the class UCI. And you remember that style none that we were talking about earlier? Now, if we click on it, you'll see, oh, I actually have options. You have the two style sheets that you just installed. I'm going to choose the dark theme. I bet Nate probably will choose the light theme just because he likes to do everything opposite of me. Actually, if you noticed, did you see that? In fact, maybe we should do this again in slow motion. I'm going to come back over here and put it to none. And I really want you to watch because it's kind of dramatic, right? Look at the page. It's all like white, default, sort of blah, just like we had it a minute ago. And if I come and I apply the dark theme, notice how it like instantly starts to transform and it adopts the dark theme. And notice how the buttons change their shape and the font changed. This is no longer the default font. This is now the project font that we defined in the style sheet. From here, we can start to do different things to make this thing look a little nicer. I am going to multi-select these buttons here. We're going to come over to CSS class name under the Properties tab, and we're going to see, oh wow, there are a bunch of options. Now, this is a great place for you to hit pause and for you to play and sort of look around for yourself to see what all you can do. Or you can just follow me because I'm going to start applying some of these things to make it look good to me. I actually am going to apply button style 1 because I like the way that looks. That gives me this nice blue with this nice sort of gray off color, but it still is providing me contrast with the background. And so that's actually one of the more important things to think about when you think about user interfaces is you want to make sure that you keep an appropriate amount of contrast. It is very clear that the room button is on at the moment because of the amount of contrast that we have. Okay, additionally, what do I want to do to all of them? I'm probably going to apply the text size medium. Additionally, if I select each button individually, I could give them an appropriate icon. So for the room, probably something related to the lights. Icon lights on, going to work well for me. For the displays, naturally something related to TVs. So icon TV on, that looks good. And then for the camera, again, naturally something related to cameras. Let's look through the list here. Oh, here we go. Icon underscore cam. That's That's already starting to look good. And for my money, boy, I really appreciate that somebody has like picked a palette of colors for me. The last thing you want to do is like make your background yellow and one button red and one button blue and one button green. For overlay industries, they don't want that. They want something different. That's part of why they gave you a style sheet, is to make it fit within their culture.
If their culture changes a year from now, then you can use that style sheet to update the color very easily.
Yeah. Okay, I'm also going to add a few things here, some small things. I'm going to add group boxes because I like to create sort of regions of controls. Again, for me, part of what I'm doing is I'm creating some intuition and some expectation within the user experience. I'm creating zones, sort of defined areas for things to land that are gonna help the user sort of like self-guide themselves into how to use this thing. But I also want to demonstrate a particular sort of situation that you might put yourself into, which is we've made this little control zone, and then I'm gonna use this tool that's gonna line things up vertically, and oh shoot, look at that. Guess what I just did?
You covered them up.
I covered them up. But guess what? Two things. One, these buttons, they're still there. They're still active. They still work. If a control is on a layer that is visible meaning over here on the layers list, it's a visible layer, those controls are active, whether you have obscured them or not. How can I fix this particular situation? Well, one of the ways that I can do this is I can select the group blocks and I can right click and I can say send to back. And notice what happened. Boom, it went to back. Also over here on this little Z order list, notice how I have hidden one button and left two of them revealed. Right? The Z order is the only order that matters. So I'm going to push that back down to the bottom. I'm also going to apply a class because I want contrast, and I have just sort of obliterated contrast.
Worth a reminder as he does that if you do use the bring to front and send to back commands, that only sends it to the front or the back of the layer on which it is on. It does not jump up to the higher layers of your UCI. So it can only move within the scope of the objects within your layer.
Again, I'm creating some little spaces for ourselves. And I'm going to put another one over here in that corner. So there's that, and that's going to be good. I got my little regions in there. One of the things we're going to use in this little bottom left space is, well, every corporation really loves to have their stuff branded. Like, that's a nice touch that many organizations want. A couple different ways that you could go here is, remember we gave you, right, in the things you downloaded, we gave you the image. You could literally just pull it in and drop it in and resize it. But also, the people that created this style sheet have been so kind as to actually give you a class called logo. And you can use that to actually bring in the logo. If you want to reuse this style sheet for a different organization later, all you need to do is go into the style sheet and look for where the logo class is defined. Notice that it is corresponding to a particular PNG in that images folder, and just drop in a new PNG and make sure the names match. And there you go. That'll update that thing for you.